If you're a content creator, you absolutely know that publishing a video, whether it's on YouTube or Instagram, after putting a lot of work, is something exhilarating. But after that exhilaration and wanting to create more, comes the question that almost every beginner in content creation asks, what should I make next? And to be honest, if you don't really know the answer to that question, the moment you hit publish, or even before that, you have a big problem. So to fix that and answer that same question, you have to fix the way you actually plan your content. And lucky for you, it's really easy. Let's say you want to create a video. The first thing that you need to do is something really simple, which is find an idea. If you don't know how to find an idea, you have a problem. And most beginners actually open their phones and think to themselves that they could find the best idea to make through scrolling. And that's a big problem because not only you are distracting yourself from finding the solution, but you're also doing something that could even eventually hurt your brain, which is critical thinking. And after analyzing a lot of content creators on YouTube, I was able to figure out the best ideation system that every human being should use, which is a pen and paper. And I know you're probably thinking it's going to be boring. Yes, it should be. But that's the point. Your best ideas are always on your mind. You have watched a lot of content in your day in order to really know what's working and know what's best for your audience, because you're a person who has experience. You're someone who has the problems and the goals and even the wants of your perfect audience. The first 5 or 10 ideas are going to suck, and that's okay because your mind is really not trained. And to train your mind, you have to make sure that he's bored, that he should find excitement from finding exciting ideas, digging the old content buried in your mind for things that you actually watched before. Then, after writing a decent amount of ideas, you should do something really simple, which is pick one. That's as simple as that. Pick only one. Don't fall for the trap of multiple choices. The moment you give your mind options to work with, he will start to hesitate and he will start to actually get stressed. What if this one works and this doesn't? You as a creator should do one thing, which is create and optimize for the next step. After finding your idea, the next step should be research. Research is something really important, especially for YouTube. The moment you pick an idea, you have to know 3 things. How are you going to package it? For YouTube, the packaging is really important. Your title and thumbnail, which is the most important part about your video. If no one clicks, no one watches. If you know how to package that idea, you have a good idea. Now, before you start making that idea, you have to research a second thing, which is the TAM. Total addressable market. What if that idea doesn't really have an audience? What if the maximum potential for that idea is 50,000 views? But if the idea has a big TAM, you should actually try and create that piece of content, because the bigger the TAM, the higher your chances to getting more views. Now, the third and the most important part, I think, on YouTube or even Instagram, you should always pick a format. Finding the perfect format for your video idea is going to be the best thing that you're going to do for that piece of content, because not every idea should be presented in the same way. Not every idea should be a how-to video or a storytelling video. It could be a challenge, it could be anything. And the moment you find that perfect format, you should go for the next step. And if I'm being honest, this step is one of the most important parts about creating a YouTube video. And most creators will tell you to actually start scripting your video, which is wrong. The moment you do your research and find that idea is worth actually making, you should always design and get everything ready before you even start scripting. You should design your thumbnail and make sure that you have matching titles for your thumbnail, and then you should start with scripting. Scripting should always start with the hook. The hook is one of the most important and actually the most critical part for creators to maintain and retain people for longer after watching the video. And when you write your hook, your ability to actually maintain people is going to be higher. I found that almost 60% of creators who fail on YouTube or even Instagram don't actually try writing a hook. So the moment that the viewer clicks on the video, the biggest and the highest chance you're going to get is leaving after 5 seconds. That's why always invest time in your TTH, your title, thumbnail, hook, in order to confirm the click, in order to get people to watch for longer and to be able to actually script your video.